Perspective channel, where we talk about immigration, health indicators, health education, motivational speeches, and we'll talk about issues as they affect our dear country, Nigeria. We know a lot of issues have been happening on a daily basis, so it's at times make us to get derailed from what we're supposed to be originally blogging about, because it's so sad that the system is not really working the way it's supposed to work, because we've stayed in diaspora and we see how things are being handled in other countries. So it's now a concern to all of us. We want things to be better. We want our loved ones to receive the best health care, the best governance, and every other things to be in place, like power, there is electricity, good roads, motorable roads, pipe-borne water, and most importantly, security. So security is one of the cardinal issues that is, bedeviling our dear nation. So we won't just fold our hands and say, oh, because we are already safe, because where we are, in quotes, safe, then we turn our deaf ear. What about if we travel home? Or what about if our loved ones have been, kidnapped or massacred? We won't like it. So that is why I would just want to use this medium to any voice is important wherever you are. Even if you're in Nigeria, we know at times it might not be really convenient for you to have your say because of fear that you'll be chased, you'll be and getting data to regularly go online is a problem. So today we just basically be talking about the tragedy of Chimamanda Adichie, our award-winning writer. He has represented Nigeria. He's known all over the world for her intellectual, of her writing prowess, her skills in writing, her literature, um, etiquette, and professionalism. Won several awards. The person of Chimamanda Adichie, who sadly lost a 21-month-old son in Nigeria. So, after listening to what transpired and how the child was being handled, then it's now another concern that, you know, there should be medical accountability. You know, what's what really baffled me is after listening to Chimamanda auntie, that was speaking in Arise News, she was so particular about the person, the anesthetist or anesthesiology who gave propofol, that is the anesthetic agent to this child, to this 21-year-old child, how nonchalant he was. And that according allegedly said that he was even smiling when he was relating the death to this woman, to the family, you know. And they have to say, what is funny about this? You know. So where are we at now? I know one thing that I know, empathy. Empathy as a medical professional. Empathy. You just have to put yourself in patient's position, in patient's family or relatives' position. You just have to put yourself in their shoe. And if you do that, you will be empathetic enough to know that if this happened to me, what is it going to be? What impact is it going to create in me or my family? Somebody losing a 21 years, almost 2 years old child, and this person is even over 45, you know. So losing a child in that kind of scenario, and all you could say is to smile and relate the death to this person, to the family. So it's really, really horrendous, how unsympathetic we behave. And this is not only affecting just one person, we are just talking about generally, this is how, because I worked back in the RS system, I know how people just take everything that happened, negative thing that happened to them in the course of accessing health facility or receiving treatment in the healthcare system, and they will come and say, oh, it's the will of God. Oh, that is how God has destined it. And this goes on and goes on and goes on, and makes our doctors and nurses and to be very, very careless, and to be very, very blunt when they are relating issues like this to their to the family of the disease and all those kind of a thing. I think it's high time we should put things the way they're supposed to be. You know, they said it was allegedly said that the doctor was smiling when he was relating the death of Chimamanda's son to the family. He was smiling. What will bring about? So we are talking about empathy. If your child, if you put yourself in that woman's shoe and say, oh, what about if it's me that my child just passed on, and how will I feel if the person telling me this is smiling? So this is the things we need to consider. And I think there is a lot more work that needs to be done in our healthcare system, delivery system. There should be accountability. There should be best practices. You remember Anthony Joshua, how he was being carried, how another road safety official was being interviewed, and he said the road safety people got there within 5 minutes. They were walking around very close by, and immediately they got the signal. They were there, and they were blah, 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 blah. He was trying to defend what is not defendable. He was just trying to defend what is not defendable. How is it that there are no ambulances? Even in standard hospital, you cannot even mobile oxygen that you can be giving this child, that there is no monitoring, there is no oxygen administration, overdosage of propofol anesthetic agent. I don't know how you have to give a GA to a 21-year-old, before you want to do an MRI or lumbar puncture. These are the procedures that was allegedly said they wanted to do, and they have to sedate this child. And from overdosage to poor medical practice, So the question is, we have to be talking about these issues. Otherwise, it's going to be just like the manslaughter, the genocide, or the killing going on in Nigeria, massacre everywhere. You go to the north, you go to the south, bandits are doing their own, terrorists are doing their own, Islamic or religious sectors are doing their own. So the massacre is too much. Then the one that we're supposed to, the other ones again, from the healthcare practitioner, from the health system, they're also doing theirs. So the question is, when are we going to be free from all this? When are we going to be free from all these incidences of killing and taking of life? I think it's high time we begin to talk to ourselves. We're going to put structures, because the health system is in quagmire. The health system is in total failure. Our political structure has failed. Our health system has failed. You remember right from the period of where they said this man wanted to harvest a kidney, one of our, was he a senator now? Or I don't know what Ekweremadu was. I think he was a one-time senator that wanted to harvest a kidney from another guy, and it was to be performed in the UK. This man is still languishing in jail because of this singular thing. If this thing has happened in Nigeria, he's going free. So when are we going to put humanity first? When are we going to know that life is life. Even if it's the life of a president, if it's the life of a beggar in the street, excuse me, life matters. Life cannot equate life. Life is life. Nobody can create life. And we cannot just think that one life is more important than the other. So, why am I saying this, doing this video? We just want to shout out to our government, to our policymaker, to put things in place to help the poor masses. A lot of people have lost their loved ones, they have lost their life due to mag- this was a gigantic or huge negligence. This is negligence in the healthcare system. A child, 21-year-old child, even though they were trying to be more careful not to harm this child, but being what we are, Nigerians being what they are, of course, you can't help it. So mistake from overdosage to mistake about handling things from no adequate preparation or equipment to handle a child, oxygen administration and all these kind of things. So what are we trying to say? We want a better system for all. We want a health system that works for everyone. So I don't know, what is your take in this? Do we fold hands and we said it's God that give and it's God that take? Or we do the needful? Because in many developed countries, they don't believe that they have to investigate the causes of death. This one, there is even no investigation. The causes are already known, that it was total negligence that led to the death of this little child. Total negligence from the healthcare practitioners, from the doctors, from the people that are supposed to provide care. So what are we trying to say? We are saying that enough is enough. We should treat life the way we're supposed to treat life. We should be empathetic. We should involve best practices in our healthcare system. We should make our healthcare system work. We cannot keep recording that the one that terrorists are taking, the life they are taking is on one side, on the other side, the one that bandits are taking on the other side, then the one that we, the healthcare professionals, have been negligent upon. We don't want to fold us until it affects a figure, a societal figure, just like Anthony Joshua, before everybody began to shout, hey, there are no ambulances, the roads are not good, those people wouldn't have died. We shouldn't wait until it affects those people that matter in the society. So we are fighting for you and me. We are fighting for the poor masses, those people that their voices can never be heard of, those people that no one hear their voice, no one hear their cry. This thing has been happening to a lot of people, just losing their lives over negligence from our healthcare practitioner, from the systematic breakdown. So in diaspora here, where we live, life is life. We take every life to be very, very important. I think the most important thing is empathy. Empathy alone can help you. What the person that Arise interviewed said was that this fellow, the doctor that gave this overdose of anesthetic agent, propofol is an anesthetic agent. And we learned from information that this child was to have spinal lumbar puncture. They want to withdraw the cerebrospinal fluid and test it, and also they want to do MRI, magnetic resonance imaging, MRI. So for God's sake, I don't know how MRI will now result into death, because we know it's a child. They have to restrain the child to some extent to be able to cooperate. But I never know that a GA product like propofol, which normally I think is being used for a general anesthesia, if you want to perform a surgery, a major operation on an individual, that is when you use that agent. So we are crying to the government that they should put the health system in a kind of a way that it's work for everybody. It works for everybody. We are losing hope in our healthcare system. Things are not working. There's no accountability. People just do anything they like. There's no best practice. Best practices is zero. So we are fighting. We are there. They are saying, "Oh, we are just condemning the country." We are it. We are not. We don't want this thing to keep recalling or reoccurring again in our healthcare system. We want accountability. We want best practices. We want safety care, because the primary goal of a healthcare professional is to save life, to preserve life, to prevent situation from getting worse. How can somebody walk into your hospital, your intervention now led to the death of that person? It's shameful. I don't think this is acceptable in any part of the world. It is really, really not unacceptable. Look at this woman now. Just a death that would have been prevented. This death could have been prevented if the right resources are there. You know, So I don't know what you think about this, but this is a blow. It's a national disgrace. It's a blow to our healthcare system. It's an opportunity for the healthcare system to work for you and me. The healthcare system is something else. It's not working. It's not been working. Hello, Madam Anicot. Thank you very much. Yeah. Yeah, it's just so sad that unfolding story around this Adichie, this Nigerian writer, the unfolding story is telling us that there were total negligence in the healthcare system, the way the child was handled, and the way the healthcare system, things were not done the way they supposed in a best practice way, according to standard of best practices. So this is what we continue to talk. This is what we continue to talk about Nigeria. That we want things to work. We want things to work. Just barely 2 weeks I mentioned earlier that we were mourning Anthony Joshua's friends, two friends that just died in an auto crash. Now again, we are talking about the healthcare system. So I want you to see what we are fighting. We want things to work in our dear nation. We don't want life to be taken just like that, preventable causes of death, So we just, yeah, this must work. But if both you and me, make things work, the little voice we got, we must use that voice to pass our message. We have the resources to make our health system work, but they are just complacent because they feel that they can go unpunished. They are above the law. No, nothing anybody can say. But I'm glad that these people, the family of this boy, they are not sweeping this issue under the carpet. They are fighting. They want to see to the bottom. They want to see that the entire system is rejiggled. They want to see that things work. So I just want to yeah, hello. Yeah, how are you, Mrs. Sanikot? I'm just trying to, contribute my own part to this story. Yeah, thank you for coming around. Thank you for watching. Welcome to live chat. Remember to guide your privacy and abide by our constitution. Thank you. I think yes, I'm just running up this live streaming, but the message now is you have to watch, before the hospital you take your loved ones to. A lot of issues have been happening in our hospital healthcare system. We've heard about people their kidneys organs being harvested. We've seen a lot of gross misconduct, people, not being treated well, nicely in the health system. Even after paying massively, they are still not receiving the best system, the best care that they've paid for. Excuse me. So I think we should do something about this. Yeah, with this now, I think I'm rounding up the live streaming. Thank you all for attending. We're going to be giving you more updates. If you are passing by, just click on the notification button and subscribe. As we're going to be giving you more updates about JAPA, about immigration, about motivation, and about other issues as they arise. So we want you to Like, comment, and also share if you're able to. Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye bye now.